And then this male, my name is Tony Thomas, and you're watching Hardwired Exotics on YouTube.
First reaction to walking into a snake room.
Ooh, ta-da!
Hardwired Exotics.
Eventually, hopefully, it turns into some sort of gene that...
So do you have anything that
So,
was a first of its kind, or anything that was, you know, a rare?
oh yeah. Yeah, so you hear world's first very often.
Sure. I've heard that a lot from some of his stuff.
And what that means is you're the first one to make the combination of those particular genetics. Well, that's... I'm not trying to be an asshole, but almost every clutch for us is something like that, because we kind of think outside the box. We do a little bit different stuff than what you see on mainstream social media and things like that. So it's not uncommon for us to make world's first stuff. Sometimes we advertise it, sometimes we don't. Matter of fact, a guy over in Europe posted something the other day. It was a chocolate calico desert ghost het hypo.
That's right.
That he had made. And you know, I sent him a message. I was like, "You're not the first one to make that." Actually, I sold a breeder male about 3 years ago.
Oh wow.
So he was, 5 or 6 years ago when I made that particular animal. So, but again, if I don't post that world's first on the internet for somebody else to find it,
Somebody else will say,
they don't know it either. But
Right.
I just don't have time to keep up with that crap either. So.
Probably not.
But again, that's why we have a lot of those groups. Like, a lot of people who are working the same projects, they talk back and forth to each other. So, it's,
Yeah, the groups do.
yeah, they help out a lot.
And then you get some groups that are just pain in the butt.
Oh, we know. Me and Zach belong to some of those groups. We know.
So, what's the process of maintaining your room? Cleaning? Do you have a cleaning schedule?
Oh yeah, everything has to have a schedule. I mean, this is a full-time job. This is what I do to feeds my family and take care and pays the bills. So everything's set up on a schedule. Sunday is usually when I start my work week. I try to feed everything on Sundays, or feed all the adults. I feed all the adults and holdbacks on Sundays is usually my schedule. And then Monday and Tuesday is cleaning. So you come in and clean. And if I don't get to feed Sunday, like if we're off or something like that, then I feed and start cleaning on Monday. So basically Monday and Tuesday are my grind days. They're the longest days of the week.
You just maintain throughout the rest of the week.
And then, well, there's, today's Wednesday. So when Craig comes on Wednesday, usually Wednesday mornings are my kind of chill out time, where I'll do a lot of, I'll get online and post animals that are available, or just kind of stuff that needs to be done but it doesn't have to be done. Sure. I usually try to get all that stuff done on Wednesday mornings, and then Craig usually gets here around lunch and we do our filming. So that pretty much blows the whole Wednesday. Keeping in mind, my wife works in the evenings Monday through Thursday too, so when she leaves to go to work, I have to watch the kids.
Sure. Second full-time job.
So Thursdays are usually rat days, and Thursdays I clean and feed the hatchlings. That's kind of my Thursday project.
Which is that whole stinking rack.
Which actually I can clean, or it takes just as much time to clean that hatchling rack as it does 2 or 3 adult racks. I mean, hatchlings are just messy.
Yeah.
So
Zach's cleaned a rack or 2 in his day.
Yes, I have.
Yes, he knows how long it takes.
Yes, I helped you a whole Sunday doing the cleaning.
I know, right?
Pretty much every weekend or every other weekend at least, we have company come on Friday or Saturday. So when people come or they fly in or visit or anything like that, I mean, that's a half a day invested into showing them and hanging out with them and stuff like that. So and wherever I can possibly squeeze in some hunting and making knives, I do. Which
I bought one of his knives, by the way.
Yeah, he did. He bought that cool. He bought that
Um,
cool camel bone one.
which
Yeah.
I haven't made knives in a week now because I just haven't had time. So, but it's deer season, and I love.
So what's up with the clips on the? Does that mean anything to them?
All right, so before we get to the clips, we'll just keep panning this way.
Pan this way.
This rack is all my holdbacks. So this is stuff that
All
I've
the ones
made.
that nobody bought that you keep into.
All the ones that he.
Under the
all the
collection.
ones that I made for myself to keep or have not sold.
Because that's part of it. Is part of it is building your collection.
Right. So
Yeah.
all of this stuff is mine. So from here to here is all females. From there up is all males. I kept a lot more males this year this past year than I've kept in a long time. I still didn't keep enough.
Really?
Yeah. I always slack on my males. And I think everybody does.
Why is that? Why does?
Well, you think that you need your females, and everybody thinks the same process. And I discuss this constantly with customers and friends. Everybody thinks you need females because they're the one that lay the eggs. But there's so many variables what happens with your males. They don't want to breed. They start breeding and quit eating. So you have to quit breeding them to try to get them back on eating. They can literally have a heart attack while they're breeding.
Oh.
We've all been there, fellas.
Right. So that happens a lot more often. People just don't talk about it. The male is infertile or just shooting blanks or whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Doesn't get the job done. So you need an older male that hopefully will sire that clutch. So there's a ton of reasons why to have multiple males for projects. I always have 2 males, and I like to have 3 or 4 males for every project that I work. And I can't seem to make and collect enough of those males that I need for certain things. It's just, I guess it's my curse. I don't know. I preach that to people, but until you have 100 breeder females, you don't really understand that. You know, if you have 10 or 12, 20 or 30 breeder females, and you have a male and it doesn't want to breed to 1 or 2 of your girls, no big deal. But if I have 20 girls for that project and I don't have a male that wants to breed, I have a big problem.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I think that's a lot of the reason why people don't quite understand the necessity for those males. I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand there's a money thing. I bought a male for $8,000 this past year. Inchy Stranger male. I can't afford another $8,000 for a backup male. So, you know, I don't have
You
a
better
choice.
do the work.
Right.
Got to do the work, son.
You know, I can keep Desert Ghost males, and I can afford Pied males and Desert Ghost and some of the other projects that I'm working, Blackhead. You know, I have a Blackhead Pied male, I have a Blackhead Lavender Albino male, I have a Blackhead Desert Ghost male, I have Super Blackheads this, Blackhead Hypo, I have a pile of Blackhead stuff, mainly in the males, and I still can't have enough. Still don't ever manage to keep enough. But
Got to keep that male stable full.
yeah, that's a whole nother ballpark. All right, so this particular rack is mostly where my males are. I do have a couple of females down here on the bottom that are like 1,000 grams, or like, you know, right at breeding size, but not going to breed for us this year. This particular girl's Orange Dream Yellow Belly Pied, 100% head lavender. She's like 1,000 grams, so a little bit too big for the 10 series, but not quite big enough to breed yet.
I got you.
So there's a couple of girls down here, but this is mostly where the males are. What these clips are, the blue means male.
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted you to tell me that.
I recently added this color, yellow, which means the animal is about to shed, or maybe it got bit by a rat, or
Something you kind of pay attention to.
right. If I walk in here and I see this yellow clothespin, Craig, you can learn this too.
Yeah.
If I have that yellow clothespin there, my brain will click and go, oh, I need to check that real
I
quick.
got you.
So
Makes sense.
I need this male breeding, so I know he's about to shed, so I'm waiting for him to finish shedding so I can start breeding him.
I got you.
So that yellow clothespin will remind me of that. So
It's good. Just quick visual.
exactly, that's all it is a visual reference.
Tell you, I love these tips. Learn them with Zach.
Yep.
The next
Learn
rack
too.
over, which is actually going to be
Dose racks.
these 2 racks are what they call the ARS series 5040s, and these hold smaller breeder females. So all of these and all of those on the back side are all breeder females. So these guys are locked.
There we go.
Oh, that means they're breeding.
So that means And guys, y'all don't see this very often, but just so y'all can know, this is a visual to visual recessive project.
Well, you mean to tell me you're actually working a visual to visual?
Actually doing visual to visual.
Yep.
So you hardly ever see this. And Zach, what we mean is this is a inchy lavender albino male and a leopard lavender albino female. They're both 50% het pods as well. But I'm very notorious for making het stuff, so I don't do very much stuff that's going to make more lavender albinos. And this pairing will give me all lavender albinos, which I don't do very often.
I got you.
So, but again, that blue clothespin is out here, just so y'all can see it. See blue clothespin. That means I have a male in this tub with this female.
Means that lady has a visitor.
She has a gentleman caller.
Yes, a gentleman caller.
Take a browse on.
So green means what?
Let's just show this pairing off. They're not locked up at the moment, but this is a really cool pairing.
Oh, yes, it is.
So this is an albino het red xanthic girl, my favorite albino, I'll add. And then this male, who actually is going to shed, so he's probably not going to breed, is Confusion, Inchy, Yellow Belly. No, I lied. Confusion, Flame, Yellow Belly, possible Inchy.
Okay.
So I'm making hets. So this pairing will be making het albino stuff. So all the genetics he has, and the het red xanthic from her, and then everything will be 100% het albino because they come from a visual albino.
How about that?
This is normally what I do. I don't normally do the
visual to visuals. It's trying to make it where you can get other genes and other things.
I want to get Confusion, which is the main gene that this guy has, into the albino project.
Oh, we're getting confusion right now. Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's probably getting confused.
Yeah.
So green clothespins means that these girls are ready to go and or close to ovulating, which means it's kind of like a characteristic of, okay, I need to put my male in there.
Gotcha.
So
how do you know that?
Time reference is one of those things. I know when these girls lay, so I know about when I need to start breeding them the following year. And also we have ultrasound, so I can check and see how big the follicles are to see if they're ready to breed, and also how they're acting. I know that sounds weird, but I'm old school. I didn't grow up with ultrasound doing this as a business. Now I have one just as basically a backup, but you learn the snakes. I mean, you learn what they do, how they act, and you know when the female starts building follicles. Even with I think there's 110 or 120 breeder females in here, I can tell you just about what every one of them is doing, just because I'm here working with them.
Sure.
And that's I think a lot of times I get props on that, because even though I'm running a relatively decent sized facility, still hands on with this. Like, I look at my snakes, I do everything. I have somebody that helps me clean tubs from time to time, and I have a guy that helps me with my rats, but all this is still me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So would you say, just a side note, would you say a collection this size is okay and it's doable for one person?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is it. Like
that. Yeah. That's what we were just.
Bigger than this, you
Yeah.
probably would have to.
These are the discussions that we have a lot, and I mean, yeah, if you get any larger,
it takes too much time.
You're gonna have to hire on.
And it's not so much time with the animals as it is time dealing with customers and shipping. And there's a bunch of other stuff that go into that.
Stuff that we're not seeing.
That's right.
That you're doing all the time.
Like right now, we've been filming for 15-20 minutes, and my phone's went off probably a dozen times.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's walk to the next.
Let's go to the next
one. So
one.
this is just Coco. This is what we use for bedding.
He be knowing about them Cocos.
Yeah, I got them.
We got them Cocos.
My iconic toolbox that everybody loves. The back side of that 5040 I was telling you about. This is the oldest rack I have. This is an old school Freedom Breeder rack. This thing is probably 20 to 25 years old.
Nice.
It's seasoned.
It's very seasoned.
Yeah.
So these are for the big girls, like the really big girls. So the girls that don't fit into the 50 series tubs. So,
oh wow. Oh, it's almost like an iridescent.
Yep.
Light. That's cool.
There's some sort of melanistic project that we got going on. Hadn't quite figured it out yet. And this is the newest rack that ARS makes, which is a 5540 series.
That's what I'm looking at.
And it is exactly the same as the 5040, but the tubs are about 6 inches longer. So what you end up with is just a really long and narrow tub. The series is 55, and then 55 series tub, and then it holds 40 of them. So that's where the 40 comes from. So
Man, this is cool.
Yeah.
got anything happening in here?
So what you think about the first time in a big snake room?
This is awesome. This is great.
Yeah.
My boys would love it.
Oh, I know. I
My daughter not so much yet.
Yeah.
But my boys would love it.
Well, you know, Luke could come in here and be like, "I'm cleaning this one, and it bring Bernie, and this is where Bernie come from."
Yep. He tried to be Bernie back. Look
Yeah.
at all your friends.
Look at all your friends, Bernie.
That's
All right.
awesome.
Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. Anything else you can say or questions you got?
I appreciate you showing me your collection. And, you know, I kind of understood a little bit about from helping Craig, but you can tell this is, like you said, it's a full-time operation here. I could only imagine. I think we've seen a couple videos of people that had bigger places, and I couldn't imagine them having to do all that. So this is not something you take lightly, but it's really neat, and I'm glad you could show me around, and I certainly appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So I'd definitely come back. Maybe help you clean some stuff out.
There you go.
There you go. So, Craig, anything else you want to say?
Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for watching Hardwired Exotics, and make sure you subscribe. Bye!